Well, you know, spring, summer, fall, you know, I'm always calling on Kathy right over here at Dan R's. There's always a problem.
Always.
You always get me fixed.
Thanks.
I appreciate that.
All right, we try.
And the one good thing is you've been in this area so long, right here on Navarre Avenue in Oregon. It's just you've done so well with a lot of people. I mean, we were talking about a friend of ours who hit a deer down there, and whoo, yeah, that's we don't even want to show you. But brakes. We're going to talk a little bit about brakes today. And Kathy, you guys, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at all this stuff here and these. Well, I can't tell you how many times I've been here.
Right.
You know, with the brakes. And, you know, most people don't do anything with your brakes, including my daughter, until you hear that noise.
That grinding sound.
And what is that? They've got like an alarm system in there. And what is that?
It's called a wear indicator. So what happens when your brakes get down to about 5%, you'll start to hear a little tinging sound. It's like a ting, ting, ting. If you step on the brake and that noise goes away, that means your brake pads are getting very close to the end of their life.
Got it. So
need to get into the shop. Don't wait till they start grinding.
Yeah, because that's where the problems come in. And we talked about this. I said, you know, I always normally wait. And then I wind up having to buy a new rotor because I've waited so long and, you know, just crushed it down. And they don't make them as thick as they used to, did they?
No, not anymore. But, you know, on front-wheel drive cars, the prices have come down, so it's not too expensive to replace the rotors with the pads. Now, if you have a big truck or something, when you have a big, you know, beefy rotor, that's when it can get expensive. So it's always better to catch them before they start grinding in case you can save the rotors.
Now, what we're looking at here is something, and I said, wow, this is really cool. They did a real nice job here. And then, wow, you even put all new stuff on here. And you said, no, we paint these, which is just, I think, a phenomenal idea. And you do have a new rotor on this one.
We have a new rotor and new brake pads. But the critical part is this is your brake caliper, the hydraulic part.
Right.
So when you press on the brake pedal inside the car, this caliper squeezes the brake pads to the brake rotor. Well, again, in this part of the country, things rust up. So these are the slides, and it's critical for these slides to work well. So we lubricate them before we put them in. Yep, there's some nice lubricant. We grind all the rust off the calipers and where they mount, and then we paint it to help it last as long as it can, keep the rust down. We use Rust-Oleum paint that we get just down the street at Gladio's. So again, trying to do the best for our customers. Now, there are people out there that, you know, just throw a set of pads on and go, but that does not give you the most stopping power available. So it's always best to have things machined, have new pads so they're true to the rotors, and then clean and lube your caliper slides so they're floating back and forth the way they're designed.
And that's where, if you get in and do this yourself, this is where you're using like a hex nut or something to take these two bolts off here. That's the one you want to lubricate, right?
Right, the mount.
The white grease in there, right?
Yep.
And that's what you guys are.
Exactly.
And what else does that, when you put the grease on there, what else does that do for the brakes?
What else does this do for the brakes?
It doesn't make them not squeak.
Well,
Or they don't squeak?
They don't squeak. This would make more of a clunk sound.
Oh.
But the squeaking that you may hear from your brakes has to do with the material that it's made of. Now, most of today's vehicles are ceramic pads. They've perfected those. Where you used to get a lot of noises was when they made a semi-metallic. So this material here had metal flakes in it. Well, if it was too much metal in this component, you'd hit the rotor, and that's where you would get your metal against metal kind of sounding. Even though you had plenty of pad left, you would get some noises.
Well, I know when people come in here, how long does it normally take for you guys to do a brake job, a normal brake job?
A normal brake job, typically it's between 1.5 to 2 hours an axle. So for the fronts, 1.5 hours, and the rears, 1.5 hours. And again, other places do them faster, but in brakes, faster I don't feel is better. You want it to be right. You've got your family in the car. When you hit that pedal, you want to know that car is going to stop.
And probably a really good idea while you're having this done, do the oil change, have them check everything out. I know I'm going to be bringing in an air conditioner. We've been working on the air conditioner and finally realized we got to put the whole compressor on it. And, you're going to help us out with that here, but any telephone number for people to call? We want to get them in here. It's springtime.
It is springtime. 419-693-6141.
And of course, you got some great specials right now too.
We always have great specials on tires, brakes, oil changes, you name it, it's on sale.
Dan R's Automotive right here on Navarre Avenue in Oregon. And Kathy, thank you once again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And the great thing is she's not working on my cars right now. Nothing on my cars right now. But
Yeah.
it's coming. It's coming. Trust me, I'll find something.